first trailer for Terrifier 3 has been released, showcasing actual footage from the film, unlike the teaser we got from last November. It is a phenomenal piece of marketing, in my opinion, that doesn't show too much, but just enough to build hype. Let's put our big old clown shoes on and talk a little Terrifier 3. The Terrifier 3 trailer has just dropped online, showcasing only a few blood-curdling moments from the upcoming slasher film. It's perfect, in my opinion, for only showing a few vanity shots of Art the Clown and teasing one big kill. The majority of this trailer is our main characters running away in fear or trying to hide from Arthur Claus. You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout with that icicle in your eye. Bad joke, I know, but I hope we see that happen in this film. Okay, let's move on. Sorry, that was bad. Breaking down this trailer, it starts off with Sienna looking dramatically off into the distance over some fire. Terrifier 3 writer-director Damien Leone has said that Sienna will be dealing with the trauma of the previous movie here. Not only did she lose her father before the events of that, but she lost like her best friend and her mother during the events of Terrifier 2. Yikes. There may be a 5-year time jump in between movies that has healed her wounds, but the trauma from that unfortunate Halloween night still remains. Sienna is said to be staying with her aunt and uncle, who will likely be piles of meat after their first encounter with Art the Clown. Sienna can also be seen in this shot here freaking out in front of who I think is her aunt and uncle, running away screaming here, and being thrown into a table here. Sienna is in for another crappy night. We get a few shots of old Saint Dick in his big red suit going to chop someone into bits with his big axe. Considering all of the children in the cast list, I don't believe anyone is safe. We also see a lady running out of a room screaming in terror at one point who could absolutely be someone's mother. Jesus, what are we in for, fellas? This dude right here seems to be getting grabbed by Art prior to getting his Santa costume from the mall. It looks like the attic sequence that has been teased in photos from the previous few months. It looks like there's more from this sequence in the trailer as well. Someone here is wearing a construction worker's outfit going to touch a cobweb-covered Art. Has he just been sitting there for 5 years? I have so many questions. This construction worker might get that box cutter to the face from that picture we saw a few days ago. Maybe that's how Art got the weapon in the first place. A big question that has been on my mind lately is what will happen to Jonathan Shaw in Terrifier 3, a character who was viciously attacked in the previous film, having his fingies bitten off by Art the Clown. We briefly see him frantically knocking various items off of his desk in his college dorm here, giving us proof of life. This is, believe it or not, the first time we've seen the character in all of the Terrifier 3 marketing so far. I wonder why they're being so secretive with Jonathan. My theory is he won't be so lucky in part 3, not having Sienna there at college to protect him. We'll just have to see. Victoria Hayes is teased in the trailer a few times, seemingly a bigger player this time around. She was mostly absent from the sequel after being a crucial part of what little story there was in the original. Some of the nastiest shots we've seen of Terrifier 3 so far feature her, like this one and this shot of her crawling out of a bloody bathtub. What is going on in this movie? Remember, folks, this is a wholesome family Christmas movie. Speaking of that, it wouldn't be Christmas without a little blasphemy, am I right? The most interesting update regarding Victoria Hayes today comes from this new poster, showcasing the character with a crown of thorns. This is, of course, a reference to the Bible, where Jesus Christ wears a similar mockery while he's hung up on the cross. You might be thinking that this is super out of place for the Terrifier franchise, but remember, there was a lot of biblical imagery in part 2. You'll remember that sequence in Terrifier 2 where Jonathan and Sienna raced through a church-looking set and saw all of those creepy-looking crosses. Sienna was also dressed as a battle angel in the last film, fighting a potentially demonic entity. That's yet to be confirmed, but Damien Leone has promised that we'll learn more about Art the Clown in this next installment, as well as the entity that follows him and, brings him back to life casually? You're telling me that's not Satan incarnate? Come on now! I'd be shocked if Terrifier 3 didn't have any sort of Bible connections, considering the holiday it decided to take place on as well. That was no accident, folks. Best of all, we finally got to see some shots of the shower sequence that has been discussed by the director on Twitter, and that I have had many a theory of. I hate to say I was right, but goddamn, I think I was spot on. This couple totally appears to be boning in the shower as Art slices through glass with a chainsaw, cutting into Mia's arm here. Art then makes some bloody angels next to his severed foot in the same room, presumably. I wonder if this is the big kill scene of the movie. Will it take a fucking year to get through, just like the bedroom sequence in part 2? I'm dying to to sink my teeth into it. The other thing about all of these shots, where are all of the body parts? If this is the big scene of Terrifier 3, you would think there would be some messed up aftermath, right? Here we just see a foot, which feels like the majority of the body parts have been moved somewhere else. Is art making a Christmas tree made up of body parts? A snowman with flesh even? Again, lots of questions. Anyways, I loved the Terrifier 3 trailer. I can't wait for this movie to arrive on October 11th this year in theaters, hopefully followed by a big physical release later into the winter. It will also stream on Screambox for those who can't make it to the theaters sometime later into the year. Before we wrap this video up, I'd like to ask you all to please consider signing up for my freshly revamped channel memberships. There are 2 new tiers, including the $5 Ghostface tier, where you will get a producer credit in every video alongside access to the exclusive Horror Hot Takes series. At the $10 Art the Clown tier, you not only gain all of those perks, but you can also choose which movies I cover on that exclusive series. Mr. L, one of the first Art the Clown patrons who signed up recently, just requested I cover Alien vs. Predator this Friday. Check out that video soon here, channel members. Thank you to everyone who has already signed up for my Patreon or channel memberships. I greatly appreciate it. New rewards coming every single week. I'd also like to ask you to subscribe to my second channel, GullGotha, where I'll be posting content on video games. I'm currently playing the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game, Dead by Daylight, and various other horror video games. So please go subscribe to that now to see me getting way too scared at video games for children. What do you guys think about the Terrifier 3 trailer? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Thank you all again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.